what's happening? Oh, there we are. There we go. So I enjoyed doing the last video. Like I said, I've been busy, and then that coupled with kind of, I don't know. It's like, I don't know. You know, the hall monitor, the finger wagging hall monitor coming around my channel and telling me, oops, you said some naughty things, so we had to take that video down. Kind of makes it like we don't want to do videos, it's like, what the fuck? And it's everywhere, like I've gone on tangents about BitChute is exactly the same. The hall monitor looks a little different, looks and speaks and acts different, but it's the same authoritarian, harassment or whatever you want to call it. But anyway, so I enjoyed doing the video, and I feel like I hit on relevant things, and really relevant things that nobody ever talks about. And that's another thing that makes, like, where it's like, what's the fucking point doing videos? But like I've said in the past, I like to use the platform. One of the things I like it for is so that I could just speak my mind, because I can't talk about this stuff at all. In society, you just don't talk about any of this that I'm talking about. Nobody wants to hear it. And that's the thing, man. It's a zombie fucking apocalypse. When the truth is not really something that people want to hear, well, then you don't talk about it in society. If it reflects poorly on society and the people that populate it, well, then they're not going to want to talk about it. So platforms, whichever ones, even though they are all the same, but it's one good thing that they can be used for, or I like for anyways. I don't know if it's good. I don't know. But anyways, so I wanted to talk more about Aldous Huxley and the Brave New World. I maybe sound crazy, and then maybe even I sound pretentious, and stuff about, my thoughts on Aldous Huxley's Brave New World. I don't think so, though. I think I'm right, I believe I'm right. And this is what I wanted to go into, is because I've learned to speak in code, okay? And become fairly disciplined in it and practice it often. And became very fluent in that language of speaking in code. And I'm not really going to go into what it was unless somebody asks me. I mean, if somebody asks me in comments or something, I guess I will. But it kind of goes back to green eggs and ham. Some people just don't want the truth, and I get tired of talking to people that don't want the truth. They just want to hear what they want to hear, and they just want confirmation bias to confirm their biases. And so if I say something that doesn't confirm their biases, then they just kind of get butthurt and they start tripping out and stuff. And so there is no point in going into what it was, but I have become very fluent in code language, and practiced it often for over 2 decades. And the thing about it, which is an unanticipated, I guess, like, benefit or something of learning to speak in code, is by learning to speak in code for over 2 decades and becoming disciplined in it and practicing it often, you begin to learn to interpret code, right? And so, like when you listen to Aldous Huxley talk about his book, The Brave New World, and he explains it, dude, it's obvious. It's obvious. He's speaking in code and he's explaining like what was happening in real time back in 1958. It's kind of like courtroom rhetoric, you know. You can that's all it is. All courtroom rhetoric is it's fucking extreme code. It's everything about law rhetoric and stuff and linguistics of law, in the courtroom and shit. It's all straight up code. Like, it's very extremely complex code. Even a single word is like almost like a magic spell or something. So you can say a lot. A person can say a lot. Within the confines of the rules of, say, like mainstream media. Okay. I mean, probably a little bit less now, maybe even a lot less now. Nonetheless, for example, like being interviewed by a reporter, like Walter Cronkite or whatever. I don't know, Tucker Carlson, whatever. Even though there's all these rules and constraints and confinements, a person can still say within those confines what they're intending to say, no matter how against the officiated rules. And no matter how against the officiated rules that message is, it can still be articulated. I guess to the listening, to the person that listens, conversation is a dying art, and listening is like a dying art. Like, to really pay attention to people and communication, and like to pay attention to, is another person listening to the communication, you start to see that very, very few people actually listen to much of anything at all. You know what I mean? And the more a person observes, and even if they can transcend observation and analyze the listening skills of your average person, people don't even know how to listen. Not at all. And it's really crazy. It's really crazy. That's why somebody pointed out, like, what good is freedom of speech if nobody listens? I mean, it's like, boom, bingo, right? So my theory, which I think holds a lot of water, is that because I've really learned and disciplined myself to speak and understand a particular code and I became very fluent in it. It's almost like a different language. And have been doing it for over 20 years. And you know, and have become disciplined in speaking fluently in that particular code or language, that it inadvertently, as an unexpected result, I learned to be able to understand when other people speak in code more clearly. And so the interviews that I've heard listening to Aldous Huxley, it's like, dude, it's like obvious. Like, dude, he is trying to tell people something. And the crazy thing is, you listen to any talking heads on the internet, like TrueStream Media, Corbett Report, any and all of them, every last single one of them, I don't care which ones they are, they all talk as though Aldous Huxley is warning that could be our future. And this is a pattern that I have seen that is a very misleading kind of deceitful type of language. Whenever I hear in a title of a video or anybody saying that this something is coming, like a good example is that the social credit score is coming to America. You know, look, it's happening in China. It's going to start happening here. That's a very, very misleading and deceitful thing. A very misleading and deceitful claim. And almost any time someone, a precursor to some title or some dialogue is that some particular thing is coming, martial law, police state, social credit score system, that these things are coming. They're already here and they've already been here. Like every fucking time. I can't think of a time when somebody said something is coming and I looked and I was like, what the fuck? Like, that's already here and it's been here for fucking years. And here's this big talking head superstar internet star saying that this is potentially coming to America. The social credit score system, martial law, police state, all like these things are all fucking here and they've all been here. And that it's the same with Aldous Huxley. People claim, and they do it intentionally, because they're fucking agents and shit, dude. Because they're hand-selected propagandists that are placed in trending on YouTube, in popular on YouTube, in trending and popular on BitChute, and trending and popular on Odyssey, and trending and popular on Rumble. They're all hand-selected and placed in front of you. Meet the new boss, same as the old boss. It's all the same. And that whenever they talk about because in videos, throughout the history of YouTube and Rumble and Odyssey and BitChute, whenever they reference Aldous Huxley, they're always saying that Aldous Huxley's book, Brave New World, was a warning of a possible future. I'm telling you, dude, wrong. And they're intentionally misforming people. It's completely inaccurate. What Aldous Huxley was doing was speaking in code to reach people, to tell them that the brave new world is now. And that was in 1958. So in 1958, Aldous Huxley's book, Brave New World, was speaking in code to try to get information out to the people that the brave new world was in 1958. It was already happening. And before. It's the only reason that Aldous Huxley presented it as a possible future was code. so that they cannot fucking, he can't be accused of spreading conspiracy theory or anything, because he's saying that his book is a prediction of a possible future if we're not careful. That was Aldous Huxley's way of not being accused of being a conspiracy theorist or a fascist or a communist or any of the other things. Whereas if you were to say that this is what's going on right now, then you get attacked and you get censored and you get, media has definitely changed in a lot of ways, but in a lot of ways it's still the same. Like you have to be a sci-fi writer to put out real truth. And you have to lie to it. You have to say, oh, this is just a science fiction, because if you say, oh no, this is all real, then they're going to shut your shit down. But if you portray it as, oh, this is just a sci-fi book predicting a possible future if we're not careful, then nobody can fuck with you. Nobody can say, oh, he's a conspiracy theorist, right? This is why you see people more and more say that their videos are for entertainment purposes only. Why I started doing it. This video is for entertainment purposes only. That's all it is, just entertainment. Oh, Brave New World is just a sci-fi entertainment book that has a kind of a warning. If we're not careful, this is what could happen. But it's just a science fiction with a little moral, a little moral message in it, to just be careful that this could happen if we're not watchful. Bullshit, dude. Aldous Huxley was saying what was happening in 1958. And like I said, I learned code to speak in code, and learned it fluently. Not just speak it, but to interpret it and stuff. And it's kind of a curse, because now I can hear shit and other people can't hear it. And I do speak it. I never in a nefarious way. Whenever I do speak in code, it's always to just try to get positive messages out and positive information when I speak in code. Never like I'm like or I don't know. I mean, I might not really be fully aware sometimes and say something just because somebody pissed me off, and sometimes somebody will piss me off and it'll inspire me to talk about something, and I may not be directly talking about that person, but I'll see something that a person did to me and I'll realize a lot of people do that, and and fuck those people, I don't know. I'm kind of, this video is is kind of whatever. But anyway, yeah, man, no, it's bullshit. Anybody that says that Brave New World is just a warning of a future that could happen, that is total bullshit. Anybody that's trying to warn that, social credit score system could be coming to America, they're full of shit. The social credit score system has been here for fucking hundreds of years, dude. That's so ridiculous, dude. And people try to do that. They do that it's all bullshit, dude. I'm so sick of all this bullshit. And it's the same with police state and martial law. Because they're trying to cover up that martial law is here right now. And they're trying to cover up that police state is here right now. And it's been here for years. They're trying to cover up that the social credit score system is here now, and it has been for years. They want their stupid audiences to think, oh my gosh, it's not here yet. That way they'll keep thinking, well, then it's not here because it's not here yet. And that could be what Aldous Huxley was doing. Was his trying to trick people into thinking that Brave New World is not here yet, but it could be. The other thing is that he was speaking in code to try to let people, because that's the only way, to get an interview with Walter Cronkite and to get a book published that gets all this. They wouldn't, that Brave New World wouldn't get accolades of praise if Aldous Huxley were openly saying this is the world we live in right now. His book would get, censored into obscurity. The same book, Brave New World, if Aldous Huxley was publicly stating that this is the society that we live in, that book would have nobody would have ever heard about it today. The only reason people have heard of the book Brave New World is because his claim is that it's a prediction of a possible future. If he were to have said that this is the world we live in right now, back in 1958, they would have disappeared that motherfucker. I mean, you don't have to kill somebody to disappear him. You know what I'm saying? They would have made sure his book never got published. They would have never interviewed him on fucking ABC or anything. And sometimes the only way to get information out is to do that. I don't do it. I would never. I could not see myself ever getting trying to get a book published and get, as far as where it's a New York Times, where it's a big, everybody's reading my book. I would never attempt to do anything like that. I mean, I might write a book and get it published, but not in an attempt to get it to be a bestseller and I'm being interviewed on the news about it or anything like that. No, I wouldn't. So I don't know. It's hard to know what the fuck is going on, I mean, if the information were that important that I would strive to get it mainstream, I just don't think that that's possible. So in that sense, Aldous Huxley, maybe it might be true what they say about him being involved in whatever CIA and all this fucked up shit. Whatever the case, I mean, liars have to speak the truth. Liars have to, because that's the only way to make their lies credible is using the truth, which is the weirdest thing about deceit and lies and stuff. I've kind of meditated on that before and found, it's really crazy when you start thinking about people who just intentionally lie and deceit. You can't win. The only way is to not play the game, because you can't win against a liar. They will never stop lying, and they will always use truth to push the lie, but they will never admit to the truth. The only interest a liar and a deceiver has in the truth is using it to deceive people. And when you really start thinking about that, it's a major mind fuck. I've gone into this kind of weird meditation where I envision myself challenging a liar. And it was what brought that on was the event that happened to me 2 years ago. And I started meditating on engaging with a liar. in the hopes that I can expose their lies. You know, just imagining being in that. You can't win against a liar. Like I said, they will use any truth that they can to push their lie and to push their own agenda. And no matter what truth that you combat with, they can always come back with some other lie that can be propagated using truth. And they will, like, if you speak a truth, they will take that truth and use it to further propagate their lie, no matter what truth it is. So I could think, oh, if I expose this truth, that it will somehow, you know, deter the liar. No, it doesn't. The more truth that you give them, the more it fuels their lies. That's what's so insane about lying and liars. Like to think that truth is going to you know, like deter the lies. What's crazy is whatever truth you feed them, they take it and end up using it to propagate their own lies. It's so insane, to the point where after a while it's like there isn't even any point in engaging a liar at all, because with any truth at all, because whatever truth you think you're going to use to combat a liar, they will take that truth that you just put out and use it to further their own deceitful agenda. So they use the truth to deceive. You know, it's really crazy. Anyways, I'm like massive brain fog, so I'm gonna shut her down.